guitar, I know the chords. I play my cigar, lay flat on the floor. The east and the west, their battles won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, bones will protect my eyes, and when they eat my flesh, but I got the power to win all the hours to rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bones, I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I hold it together in honor to stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn back to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turn into bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you
Hello there, Matthew J. Elliott here, taking time out from doing British things like correcting people's grammar and, well, that's it really, to congratulate you, the listener, for selecting the True Blue Riffcast. Yes, you could have picked any one of the thousands of Riff Tracks themed podcasts on the web, but your perspicacity led you to seek out the #1 Riff Tracks podcast, and for that, you should be commended. Now, I'm going to turn you over to your hosts, Dave and Jeremy, and I shall board a flight back to England without even so much as the boxed lunch I'd been promised.
Thank you, Matthew J. Elliott. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the #1 Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I am joined, as always, by...
Hey, what's up? I'm Dave. I was panicking there because I was looking at other stuff on my phone while the intro was playing, and I'm on mute. This is a little background stuff. I'm on mute during all that because we don't know how to turn me off, and I couldn't get back to the call, and I literally was able to unmute like a split second before Jeremy introduced me just now. So I'm here.
Nice.
That could have been a disaster.
You know what's going to be a disaster?
What's that?
Since we're here, the writer's strike.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing really. I mean, like, there's nothing really I'm watching
Well,
that is going to affect me. But I mean, what's going on?
Well, I mean, you know, the Writers Guild of America went on strike this week, and everything's shut down.
Yeah,
like, everything.
I got to watch season 3 of Picard. I'm fine.
We're not in the middle of anything that it's going to affect.
No, yeah,
like the last one did in 2007 and 2008.
Oh yeah, when like
Rip Heroes
everything
and
just died. Yeah,
that extremely short season of Lost.
Yeah,
where they introduce
new
new characters to like kill them off 2 episodes later.
Yeah, yeah, no, that
liked
happened. They had to. I remember that it was in season 5 because they couldn't develop. I think her name was Charlotte, the redheaded girl. And so they like had to kill her in like episode 2 of season 5 because like we can't do anything with her now.
Yeah, it was bad. But hey, the writers need to get paid, guys. Like, I did see a good picket sign that said, "Pay your writers a fair wage, or we're going to spoil Succession." Oh, that was kind of funny.
Oh well, okay. I mean,
not that it's a show that I've been watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like
I mean, the only HBO show that I really watch is Barry. And
dude,
I know that
I'm so
season's done.
I'm so out of TV right now. Like
you would really like Barry. It's on the 4th and final season right now, and yeah, it is very good television.
I think the last show, and this is kind of this. Maybe not pathetic, but it just kind of shows you how out of with TV I am. The last show that was like a big thing that I think I watched with everybody else, I think was Tiger King.
Well, yeah, that came out right during shutdown.
Yeah, and then season 2 came out, and I was like, oh, we're all terrible for.
Yeah.
Like, man, dude, because season 2 of Tiger King made me realize just how awful all these people really are. I mean, really are. I mean,
yeah, I didn't
like, oh, it's not funny anymore.
I didn't watch it, so
don't. It's gonna make you. It'll like it. It made me feel like a douchebag for really getting into the first season. It's just like, oh my gosh, I feel so dirty.
Yeah. So yeah, any movies that you may have been looking forward to coming out next year? It's not going to happen.
Does this mean the new Mortal Kombat movie isn't going to get made?
One can only hope. Maybe there is some good to come out of this.
Strike all year.
Oh, that'd be wonderful if we didn't get a continuation of that pile of garbage.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we spent like an hour and a half talking about how horrible that movie was.
It was so bad.
It was a true blue combat cast for like an hour and a half. It was great.
Yeah, we definitely had some things to say about Mortal Kombat. Oh man. So yeah, that's what's going on. Also, we didn't have a show last week. We were going to, and then I found out that my dog has a brain tumor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or one of my dogs. My old dog, he's 11. He's definitely lived a good life. And we're just trying to keep him comfortable and happy, for as long as he's around. So
no.
But it's all good. He's doing fine. He was having some seizures. They gave him some meds, and he hasn't had any since. So he's doing all right.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
I
good.
mean, it's a good thing nobody made any promises about what the next show was going to be while they were inhibited by booze.
Yeah, nobody did anything of the sort at all.
Yeah. I don't even remember what we talked about.
I don't either. I mean, I know the movie we talked about, but I don't remember.
What was it? What movie did we talk about?
Maybe I don't remember. No, it was. Wait, what did we talk about? The Bad Pack. That's what it was. The Bad Pack.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yes.
Oh.
It happened be like that
2 weeks
faraway
ago.
time of April 2023.
Yeah. Oh, and also I'm leaving my job at the movie theater and going back to a place that I used to work at years ago. They've been trying to get me to come back since I left, basically. And they finally were able to offer me a full-time position, and I'm getting paid a decent amount more than I was at the movie theater. Plus, I'm not going to be in management, so I won't have that stress anymore. And I get to work with some of my closest friends again, so I'm very excited about that.
I found out that I made more money than Jeremy, and I'm just an overnight custodian.
Yeah,
and he was a manager. and
Yeah.
now he's making as much as I am. And I was like, why did you put up with that?
Because I liked the job, Dave, and I
Yeah.
didn't find anything that paid better until now. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me.
Well, I
Oh.
just hit the 1 year anniversary of being back at my old job.
Wow, it's
As
been a
long-
year already.
Yeah, it's been a year since I had that little disaster with the post office that I thought was going to change my life. Remember
Yeah,
that, Jeremy?
I sure
Remember
do.
remember I was so stoked about working at the post office. It was like, this is going to, and I was planning the next 20 years of my life around it.
Oh
And
yeah.
then I was on it for 1 day. And like, this is terrible. Get me out of this.
This is this is BS. I'm out of here.
Yeah, I delivered mail for a week, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. Speaking of anniversaries, 15 years ago today was when the first Iron Man movie came out.
Oh,
I thought
is
that
it?
was interesting. Yeah,
Well, that's
it's
Rift Tracks
been a
related,
while.
too, yeah.
yeah.
The birth of the MCU.
The birth of the MCU.
And now that
is...
it's good and proper dead.
yeah,
R.I.P.
I mean it is
R.I.P.
for a while
Jonathan
anyway.
Majors.
Well, even outside of that, I mean, there's the whole writer's strike.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
So
maybe it's time for it to go away. Maybe.
just a little break. A little break isn't going to hurt anybody.
Yeah, and if you come back, maybe do Iron Man 4. Be like, oh, Tony Stark wasn't dead. Oh, look over there, it's Iron Man.
It was a life model decoy. He's really
Yeah.
alive.
It's from an alternate reality.
There you
lots
go.
of those now.
Multiverse, yeah. You just pulled
Look,
him
it's
from a different
Patrick
universe.
Stewart.
Oh man. So let's take a look at the weekend box office real quick. Of course, the number one movie in the country is still the Super Mario Brothers movie, which has now officially passed $1 billion worldwide.
Guys, that movie is not that good.
It's fine. It's a kids
It's
movie.
fine,
It's definitely a
but-
kids movie.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. It's fun. It's not great. It's a very simplistic story, but again, it's Mario. Like, it's not really depth. Depth of character.
It could have been. It could have been. Okay, can I just say this? Okay, I'm going to say my piece about the Mario movie, and then I'm going to move on from it forever, because that's something I do. They had the opportunity to make something like really, really amazing, but instead they played it really, 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 really safe. They didn't really do much with the characters, and yeah, it's geared towards kids, and I say it's not offensively bad. It's not really bad, but my thing is that I feel like they had the opportunity to do something really special. I mean, like, look at something like Wreck-It Ralph,
Yeah.
and you can see that a concept like that can be done and have it be for both kids and adults. And I just kind of feel like they had the opportunity to do this with this, and they didn't take it. They just played it super safe. But Jack Black sang the Pizza song, everybody, so it's okay. So I think
go ahead.
I think it's cool, because my sister, not my sister, my brother was in town, and my sister said, "Hey, while Ben's in town with his family, we should all go see the Super Mario movie together." And so we all went. And I say, and I really like my nieces and my nephews, like a lot. So I say, and they all seem to enjoy it. And I say that if there are kids in your life that you like, go see it with them once. But I think for the sequel, I think maybe they could go darker. They could make Bowser a little scarier. And just kind of go there. Don't be afraid to have these characters be a little edge. I didn't mind any of the performances. Seth Rogen's douchebagginess didn't shine through a lot in Donkey Kong, but I think that you can develop those characters in a Wreck-It Ralph kind of way. I would go see a sequel if it kind of was a little bit edgier. That's just my piece.
Here's my thoughts on what you were saying. I think that they played it safe. I think that was Nintendo's.
Yeah, Nintendo definitely.
Because of, I know they were still gun shy over what happened with the live action Mario Brothers. So I think they wanted them to do something that was going to be safer, that people would be familiar with as far as the story, and making it, it's kind of a testing the waters here. If we can do this, then maybe we'll open things up a little bit for the next one. No. I just mean they'll
for like more Mario
broaden
movies,
it.
Yeah. Do not do a Legend of Zelda movie. Don't do it, please.
Why not, Dave? Everybody wants it.
Do they? I don't.
I've seen a lot of people saying, wow, if they can do that with this, imagine what they could do with the Zelda.
That's my opinion.
I want a Luigi's Mansion movie. The little bits with Luigi where he was like dealing with the dry bones and all that stuff. I loved that. With him freaking out and I would watch a Luigi's Mansion movie where Mario's gone and it's just Charlie Day. And not Chris Pratt.
Full disclosure, guys, a lawnmower just pulled up in my park.
Oh, so goody!
I'm gonna have to make a discreet exit.
Yes, and because if you'll remember, Dave likes doing the podcast from outdoors.
Yeah, so if you can hear that, he's not supposed to be here right now. I don't know why he didn't get the memo.
We told them
the True Blue podcast is being broadcasted here today.
Jerks.
What's that?
I said jerks. Not listening to our edicts about when they can and cannot perform maintenance on the grounds.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do something. But Jeremy, continue with the weekend box office, and if I have to pass this guy, I'll just put it on mute.
Evil Dead Rise in the number 2 spot. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, opening in the 3rd place. Now, here's something interesting. The 4th place movie for this past weekend is a movie that originally was released quite a number of years ago. That would be Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, coming in 4th place, making just over $5 million in only 400 theaters, so that's pretty good.
But why? Do we know why that happened?
It was the anniversary release of it.
Yeah.
Like 40 years.
Was it the original, or was it the special edition? I can't imagine Lucas would.
It would have to be the special edition because the originals don't exist anymore. Like, as far as any official thing is concerned, the special edition is the edition of the movie. That's just what it is.
Is the definitive version?
Yeah,
okay.
Which is why we're never going to get, Blu-ray releases of the original versions of the movies.
Yeah, that's never happening.
So I'm going to hang on to my DVDs that I have, and that way I'll be able to watch them.
I think I have some VHS copies of it. I'm pretty sure I do. I wouldn't throw those away, I don't think.
I had the VHS years ago, but when they released the DVDs with the special edition and the original theatrical, I got rid of the VHS tapes.
That was in 2006?
Let's see. It would have been about 20 years ago when they did that. I don't remember exactly, but I know I was working at Toys R Us at the time, and my son was very little, and he's 19 now, so... Oh, that hurts a little bit saying that. And John Wick Chapter 4, bringing up the end of the top 5. Still kicking ass in theaters. for one last time.
I haven't seen any of those. Are they good?
I enjoy them. They're way over the top fight scenes and like hyper violent. It's good. It's good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
but
spoil this one
thing
since
I
it
know
came
about
out
it
a
is
month
that
and a half ago.
The one thing I
He-
know about it is that Keanu Reeves kills a bunch of people. That's like
Yes.
all I know.
Yeah, the first movie, he starts killing people because they steal his car and kill his dog. And his dog was given to him by his wife right before she died of cancer.
Wow.
So because he left the assassin life, to settle down.
Oh.
And they got married, and then she gave him a puppy, and then she died of cancer. So the dog was the last living thing he had, connected to her. So when they killed the dog and stole his car, he was just like, all right. And he just went on a rampage and destroyed half of the Russian mob. So it was fun.
Wow. Yeah, I guess there's no repercussions from that. Ask
no,
Jack
not at all.
Bauer.
Yeah, and that's not why we got sequels because but yeah, it's entertaining. It's crazy fight scenes, lots of really violent stuff. It's just enjoyable. Good times watching people die brutally.
It's a good time.
It's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah. So that's it for the weekend box office. Only one thing to take a look at as far as what the hell James Nguyen is doing.
Now, what is he doing?
He posted 2 pictures on the 21st. One is him standing out in the ocean with the caption, "The sea is literally rising on James Nguyen. Sea rising pre-production." And then
Oh, no. Wait.
And then the other one is Happy Earth Day 2023. And then he posts a quote from Birdemic 3. "To keep Earth healthy and beautiful, we must find a solution to fix global warming. Astronomy guy, Birdemic 3.
Well, okay. What about I think a better
Space
quote is that,
elevators.
yes, we have to accept our fate. It is death. Just have a lot of sex. We're gonna die.
Yeah. Just find somebody to bang and
Go
then die. Which is still my favorite thing from that movie. I loved it so
I don't
much.
know. I think it's that guy. It's that guy or Elon Musk and his space elevator.
The space elevator. So dumb. All right. Speaking of things that are dumb, I'm trying to keep as many transitions going as I can here. We've got our latest release from Riff Tracks.
Guys, this movie is the most Jeremy thing Riff Tracks has done since No Retreat, No Surrender.
Oh, this was a very interesting film. It's a direct-to-video kung fu-ish action movie from 1992 called Ironheart, directed by Robert Clouse. And if that name sounds familiar to you,
who is that? Yeah.
He directed Enter the Dragon, Game of Death, Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, and Jim Cotta.
Okay, I was about to say I've heard of 2 of those.
And he's also directed a few movies with Cynthia Rothrock in it, the China O'Brien movies, which are movies that I'm familiar with. I've seen them in the past. But this one, Ironheart, yeah. This one is where we get our title for the podcast from this week, Driving and Parking.
Yes, it's the Birdemic of martial arts movies.
There's
There's a lot of it.
They said when they released it that this movie has the most driving and parking in a movie, and I agree. I counted. I kept track of all of the times a vehicle parked in this movie, and we got 21 parking scenes in this movie that is an hour and
21 minutes,
20-some minutes long. Yeah, it's not a very long movie. So we had 21 parking seats in it. We have some ridiculous action scenes. And we've got Richard Norton playing the main bad guy, Milverstead. Richard Norton, another face. Yeah, another face that you might be familiar with from these types of movies. He has been in quite a few of them. He was in... All right. He was in the aforementioned China O'Brien movies. He's been in Cybertracker, so there's another Riff Tracks.
Yeah.
He was in Rage and Honor instead of Honor and Glory, but that's also another movie with Cynthia Rothrock in it. And he was also in... I didn't even know they made this.
By lawnmowers. I'm so sorry. Let me get the hell out of here.
I didn't even know this movie was a thing. It apparently came out in 2006. Roadhouse 2, Last Call.
Oh, I knew that was a thing.
I didn't. Or I may have heard about it, but... Oh, yeah, I think they should, because I don't think there's going to be anything good about it.
I'm sure they've screened it.
Yeah, they had to have at this point.
Wasn't that the same year Patrick Swayze died?
What, 06?
Or 09? Oh, for some reason, I thought you said 06 or 09.
Yeah, no, this came out in 2006. Yeah, I don't even recognize... This is one of those movies that I don't recognize anybody else that was in it except for the guy who... Oh, Jake Busey's in that. Oh, God.
Yeah. The Lil Buse. His teeth.
Yeah. His teeth that are bigger than his
violin
face.
and his football.
Wait a second. I think we're thinking of the wrong movie here.
Yeah.
Another pile of crap, but we've discussed our distaste for that movie a number of times before.
It's a high concept satirical view of the military industrial complex and how we're like, okay, sure, shut up.
Oh man. But yeah, this movie it also stars as one of the villains the actor Bolo Young. He's been a henchman in a ton of movies. I think he was in Bloodsport. Yeah, he was like the main bad guy in Bloodsport that Jean-Claude Van Damme had to fight at the end there. He was also in Double Impact, which I believe that was another Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. So he was a punching bag for Jean-Claude Van Damme, apparently.
You guys, I knew I wasn't going to have to bring much to the discussion here today because I knew for a fact that Jeremy was going to know all this stuff. I don't have very much to say about this movie. I really don't. I have but I know Jeremy's probably going to have a lot to say because like I said, what's going on is like, I'm just going to let Jeremy just talk. It's going to be great. I don't have to do a thing.
Yeah. So the movie takes place in Portland.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a weird... in the port of Portland, mostly.
That is a very strange location for one of these movies.
Yeah.
I mean, like... I don't know. I guess it's like as normal as, like, I don't know. What was that one of... one of those movies that we really liked last year? What are they called? Max something. And it was in
Max
Seattle? Fury. Was it Max Fury? Is that really what it's called?
I don't know. I don't remember. It might be. Let me look. It's easier for me to look this up right now. Yeah, I think it was Max Havoc.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I knew it was something. Fury, Havoc, whatever. Close enough.
Yeah, one of them action chaos terms.
Yeah, the Ring of Fire, the second one was another
Seattle,
yeah, another West Coast, because the first one was Guam.
Yeah. Those are actually really cinematic movies. This movie looks like a pile of crap.
Again, it's you start watching it and you're really like, ugly. Yes, that was a direct-to-video action movie from the early 90s. Like,
yes,
they all had this same...
Where they all dressed like they're in the 80s.
Yes, they all had the same look to them. But God, this is a great synopsis. I'm looking at the plot on Wikipedia for it, and I got to tell you this one part when I get to it. But it starts in Portland and at a nightclub where Milverstead, which I still can't get over that freaking name.
Milverstead and Steve-O.
But he's like in charge of this gang of people who they basically do human trafficking. They kidnap people at this nightclub and go stick them on a boat at the port of Portland and lock them up and inject them full of heroin to keep them out of it. But I love this here. It says he notices Cindy Kane dancing furiously to U Crew's hit "If You Were Mine" and decides to kidnap her. Dancing furiously. That is very apt because everybody in every scene in this club is dancing like they're on speed. Like they're they're in some mosh pit or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, no, okay, and they all look miserable. Like, okay, can I say something about this about this club in this movie? Okay. So this club, it looks like the dingiest, most claustrophobic pile of crap that you would ever pay $25 to get into. They just go.
They did make a point of saying that it's the fire chief's worst nightmare.
Yeah, it really is really bad.
But I think they use this. It's just one song that they use like for every time they show the club too. So they got their money's worth out of licensing that title.
Yeah.
But a detective finds them taking her. He follows her to their boat, and he's sneaking around the boatyard, and he gets mercilessly beaten.
Yes.
And then shot he shoots him in the knees first, and then in the shoulder, and then just a few more times in the chest. And then we snap cut to Los Angeles, to the Los Angeles, what is it? The SWAT team in training in their karate gis.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the LA SWAT team had I thought that was very strange that they were
martial arts
had
training.
jiu-jitsu training or whatever that is.
And so there we meet our main character, John Keem, and he's
man of few words.
Man of few words, yes. And we get like a montage of him beating up all of the police officers one-on-one, and then he starts
3 times in a row.
And then he starts snapping their necks almost. He grabs them and rams his knee into the back of their skulls very forcefully.
Bill's oh, that guy is definitely dead.
And at the end of his training, a guy walks in. I don't know if he's a police chief or something, but he's definitely a higher up. And he's oh, John Keem has been here for 5 years now, and he's proven himself, blah, 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 blah. And then he's here's a plaque. Oh, I need to talk to you in my office. I have to tell you something. And then he takes him over there, and he's yeah, he's dead. And he's he put up a good fight, though. And they're just no, he didn't.
No, he really didn't. He got his ass
He
kicked.
really didn't. So then we get to see
on a pile of garbage. I didn't even know what those things were. It was
empty
a pile
bags
of something. Yeah,
it was the bags. He died on the bags.
Were they bags?
Yeah, there were
the bags.
A couple of them looked like burlap bags full of stuff. Yeah. So we get to then see his drive almost in real time from Los Angeles up to Portland. A very leisurely drive where he stops at a saloon and gets
and orders a turkey sandwich and a glass of water.
Yeah, and nobody bugs him. That's where you would expect, them. Hey, we don't like your type around here. In some backwater saloon. No,
people who are too stupid to have a good time, etc.
Yeah, no, he just just stands there and eats his sandwich and drinks his water. Oh, it does say on here that the lieutenant that was killed, or the detective or whatever, it was on a pile of tires. and then they blew up
Yeah.
his car. I forgot that they blew up his car also.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because they shot it a couple times.
Were those bullets bombs? No, they shot it and it exploded. Like, okay, I know we've seen cars explode before in movies, but this is like, okay, the car is completely stationary, and then it just like they shoot it and it just like explodes. And the cut is very strange.
Yeah.
Because it's like it seems like, because I don't think they actually filmed it catching fire. I think they like went from one frame it was not on fire to like the next. I don't know what they did, but it was just like completely engulfed in flames.
Yeah, it was bizarre. And then he's driving somewhere else, still on his way, and he's in his car and he's looking at the map and he hears this woman screaming. There's some woman jogging and these four guys who are smoking pot on the beach decide that they're gonna rape her.
Apparently, they've done it before.
Yeah, and so they're attempting it. Like they had ripped her shirt off by the time John Keem meanders his way down there.
Everything,
yeah, because he's literally just like walking. He's not like running or anything. He's just
he
walking
heard her
up.
Screaming for a long time.
Yeah, he's like, that sounds like scream.
That sounds like a woman getting raped.
Yeah, let me take my time and get down there. He kicks the crap out of the guys. One guy, he punches him in the stomach, and the guy like falls down and has just like a ton of blood coming out of his mouth.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he shouldn't have been bleeding like that.
And didn't Bill say, "It's like, did you have another heart under your tongue?"
Yes. Yeah, it shouldn't have. It shouldn't have been that sort of an injury. But the lady runs away after he saves her, and then he gets back in his car and he's driving to Portland. We see some more driving, some more parking. He goes to.
I want to say something about that rape scene, just super quick. A couple of things. I'll do it real fast. One, like their location, wherever they were under that bridge, for some reason made me think of the scene in Replica, where it might have been Julie and Jack. I don't remember, but for in San Francisco, where one of our sales guys, our computer software salesman or whatever the hell goes on in those movies, he's stuck. I think it is Replica.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No, it's both. It's
it's both.
Where he goes to pick up his doctor. Yeah, it is Replica. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And like where he like goes and he stalks his doctor's like, "Hey, you want to go on a date?" And she says, "No, go away." And so he chases her and like keeps asking her. She's like, "Well, finally." For some reason, like that location made me think of like that scene. Like, I don't know if that meant that like Joe or whatever his name was in Replica, if the doctor who did his life-saving kidney transplant was going to go out with him, and he was going to brutally rape her. I don't know if that, in my mind, that's where that was going, but it seems right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's I think it's because of the bridge that's right there.
Yeah.
Because he's stopped and there's a big bridge that has like a section that raises up, not like a drawbridge. I don't know what the hell you would call this kind of bridge, but it has like the middle section of the bridge, like the whole section just goes up, and the boats can pass through that way. And it is just a large bridge that I can see how you could make that connection from the overlook of the Golden Gate Bridge.
So the other thing happened a little bit later, because I watched this like 3 a.m, which is like the middle of the day for me. And Jeremy watched it a little bit later than I did.
Yeah.
And he says it'd be like, "Oh my gosh, this rape scene, I really could have done without this." And I had forgot that it happened. And I said, "You remember this?" And I said, like, "Oh, well, you're going to get that." It's like that scene just kind of like, that scene just kind of like washed over me. I just kind of like put it behind me. And I think that like 2 years ago, that wouldn't have. I would have remembered it. But then it's like, but then I remembered, oh, Dangerous Men.
Yeah.
Kind of like now, just like how many times rape actually happens in weird movies like this. Like, oh, there was only one attempted rape? Well, it could have been 15.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie, it definitely makes all this other stuff look
tame.
Look tame.
Yeah. a potential gang rape that actually exposed women's breasts on camera, and I just completely forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that might not be a bad thing, that just to not be able to remember that
not
stuff.
remember it. Yeah.
So he goes to the police captain when he shows up, and he tells him about his old partner and that there was this girl that also disappeared the same night. So John decides he's going to try and figure out what happened, because there's got to be some sort of a connection. And I have to say this. I'm not going to read through this whole thing or go through every individual plot point coming up.
Yeah, we can't because
there's a lot. But whoever wrote the plot for this on Wikipedia loves this movie.
Oh, they have to. Yeah.
This is the longest, most in-depth description that I've ever seen written for a movie, especially a direct-to-video movie from the early 90s. Like, usually you get, this character is chasing down this guy because he's a bad guy and did this. And that's, like, the whole plot that you get in a movie like this. But this has,
that's the kind of thing I wish people would...
for beat.
This is the kind of thing that I wish people would write for the Riff Tracks wiki, because I'm not doing it. But it's like... it's very detailed, almost to the point of it being too detailed that you might as well just not read it all. Like, we're not going to.
Yeah. I'm not even like glancing over.
You might as well just
anymore
watch the movie.
Yeah, at this point, just watch it. But we've got, like, because this is like back on Milverstead's boat. He's relaxing with a drink that Ice just made him when Simmons arrives. He quizzes Simmons about whether or not John Keem is dead and makes him feel guilty about botching the operation so badly. Like, this is way more detail than we need. Yeah. Anyway,
Steve-O enough on this podcast. I don't think we're ever going to get another opportunity to say
Steve-O?
the name Steve-O ever again.
I mean,
forget the podcast, our lives.
That's
So
actually the character's
as much as
name.
possible.
It's just Steve-O, Stevo, Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O. Like, this is
That's actually his name.
It's not like his name is Steve and Steve-O is just like, what they call him. No, his name is actually Steve-O.
His name is Steve-O. Anyway, John Keem ends up, finding that Milverstead's behind it. He makes it with one of Cindy's friends, who has a daughter, and she just dumps the daughter off with one of her other dance instructors, and goes and has sex with John Keem, and then I really thought the way they kept showing the daughter that the daughter was going to get kidnapped. I'm surprised she didn't. Instead, the lady, she just sets herself up.
Jeremy, you're acting like you have this thing where you've seen movies before and you know how they should go.
Yeah.
When will you learn?
I know. This is Riff Tracks. It's not.
Stop trying to fix the movie in your head.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
But I like the stuff that we get with Steve-O working for Hot Flash Pizza.
Okay, that was insane.
And then he gets murdered by Ice and some of the henchmen, who literally just shoot the van while he's driving it, and it flips over, and they shoot it until it explodes. And so Steve-O's dead.
Yeah.
Again with the blowing up of the car.
All right.
I don't even know.
Steve-O.
Yeah, R.I.P. Steve-O. I'm not even sure exactly what kind of van that was, because I don't think it was. It looked like a VW bus, but not.
Okay, hear me out. I don't think it matters.
I just thought it was kind of weird, because it really. At first, I thought it was a VW, and
I didn't know you were a van aficionado.
I'm not really, but these are the things that
you don't have that many kids.
It's the ADHD part of my brain. It's just like, ooh, what's that? Like, I wonder what that is. That's what I focused on. But we get the final showdown when Keem finds the boat after he shoots the corrupt police captain who was basically telling Milverstead where to find the women. and helping him like smuggle them out of the country. But Keem's fighting a bunch of guys. One guy shows up with a sword, and he does the knee to the back of the head thing on him, and then like snaps his neck. Picks up the sword, chases down Milverstead, he stops in a corridor at a doorway, and he turns around and he just starts screaming. And then John runs up and slices his head off, just casually lops his head off. And then he goes to fight Ice, but he drops the sword before the fight, like, instead of just using it, because just kill the guy. He just beats him down a little bit, and then we get a voiceover. We see them walking on the beach in Portland.
And it's the girl narrating.
Yeah. And,
like she's the hero of the story.
And she's like, oh, yeah, he had to go back to L.A., and I'm going to go to L.A. with him and open a dance studio. The end.
What about your daughter, madam?
Yeah. Just take her, just for this random cop that you decided you wanted to bang.
Okay.
That's Ironheart.
Okay, so there is something that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Something else that, like, can we talk about that I thought was kind of funny is that this woman's idea of the typical tragic dancer story, where like I only dance for myself. I don't know why anybody else would do it, but some dancers, they just want to go the easy route. They want to go make money. So they go and become strippers, and then they just get murdered. It's so sad, so tragic, so typical. I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah, that was definitely
strange.
Yeah, definitely a scene. It was in line with the rest of the movie, though.
Like especially with that kind of dance. I don't think it's those kinds of dancers that typically become strippers. I mean, I think that like they typically become once they realize that dancing and aerobics aren't really a great way to make money. They go and they find a husband and become wine moms. I mean, that's really the typical thing. I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not. That's 100% accurate.
So 100%. It's just like she's like says it, and like they even mentioned it in the riff that the be like, hey, that's great. This other woman is missing, but let's keep talking about you.
Yeah. It was weird, to say the least. Yeah, it's a very slow-paced movie, mostly because of all the driving.
All the driving and parking, yeah.
It's like, I know it sounds like I'm over-exaggerating, but it's really like...
It's really bad.
Like 70% of the movie is in vehicles. It's bad. And they're not like really high-speed car chases or anything. It's just... There's one car chase where Keem like turns into a parking lot ahead of the guy that's chasing him, and the guy like can't find him and just drives off. Like
yes, there was a car chase that involved parking.
Yeah. Oh man, this movie it was a fun riff though. There was a lot.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed this. They did a Zindy the Swamp Boy reference. They did a lot of
what was
a lot
that?
Of callbacks.
He's like, how are we supposed to know how he got there without showing us, him parking and getting out of the car? That's like Zindy the Swamp Boy without them showing us his grandpa drowning.
There was a Field of Dreams reference in this riff that made me laugh out loud. What was it? Moonlight Graham.
Yes, Moonlight Graham. Oh my gosh.
I couldn't believe it that they just pulled it out and the fact that I immediately thank you, Michael J. Nelson, for remembering us. They know who their audience is.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like today, you'd be like, hey, see a kid who's like 18, 19, the kind of people that the MST3K revival thought they were going to get, but didn't. Be like, hey, you want to go watch my VHS copy of Field of Dreams? They're not going to know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
But yeah. Full stop.
Full stop. Yes. So let's go on to our ratings here. Oh, you know what? I think we might have to add something new to the True Blue lexicon.
Oh, what's that?
So for those of you who don't remember, let me give you a brief rundown of the things that we have in here so far. We have the Copper Mountain effect.
Yes.
Which is where the movie feels hours longer than it actually is. We have the Urkel effect, where a side character takes over the spotlight.
Yes.
We have the Dorkins effect for people who should have died.
Yes.
We have the Ghost House effect,
which is
that
really
weird,
like the mother of them all.
Yeah, that weird dubbing. We have the Val Kilmer moments, which are things that blow up in Dave's face. And
well, we need Jared, but I mean, like, mine are way more memorable. But I'm sure it's happened to you too.
Yeah.
You can be Val Kilmered.
Eventually,
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to me far more often, but I'm just saying it could. I'm just trying to I just want to put myself away from some of the colossally embarrassing things that have happened to me on this podcast.
Well, that's why it's not the Chadwick moment; it's the Val Kilmer moment. Right. And then we need something for the these driving and parking scenes that we get now. Obviously, most of them have originated in James Nguyen movies.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to. I don't really want to name it after him. Though,
I really don't want to do that either.
I don't want to give him that sort of status.
Yeah. I mean, we already give him enough status. We talk about literally every podcast. Or like anything more than we already do, because I still hate him. It's been 7 years and I'm gonna die mad about it. Yeah. But I think we can call this the Ironhouse. I think we can call it the Ironheart effect.
The Ironheart effect. All right.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's better than the Wenian effect.
Or the Jimmy Noodles effect. Yeah, I remember when that was a thing, when I was like, we are not mentioning his name.
Not even going to say his name.
We're going to give him a pseudonym. His name is Jimmy Noodles. And
he who shall not be named.
Yes, because I'm a petulant child. We still use Jimmy Noodles now and then, but
All right, so we're going to go the Ironheart effect. Oh, you know what? Maybe we should do like the character's name, the Keem effect.
Well, I mean, okay, look, if you say that, I you know what? I think we should go with Ironheart.
Ironheart.
For the only reason is that I didn't know any of these characters' names.
Okay,
and
that works.
The Keem effect, I'm not going to know what you're talking about.
Like, what the heck's that from?
Yeah, the Keem effect. What are you, drunk?
No, that's you, Dave.
No, that's only happened one time on the podcast, and it wasn't that bad. I just couldn't remember what we talked about the next day. That's all.
I mean, I can't most of the time either, and that's just normal for me. But all right, let's start grading the film. The plot of the movie. This does actually have a plot.
It does have a plot, yeah, but I mean, it's like, okay. So I think that it should get at least a 2 for at least having a plot, as opposed to a lot of the other movies we reviewed recently, which don't.
Yeah. So
it should get a higher rating based on that, at least.
I think I'll go 2.5 out of 5 on this one.
Okay. All right. I don't want to give it 3.
No. 2.5 is as high as I'm willing to go. The acting.
I mean, the acting is, for what it is, I'll give it 3. It's not amazing. It didn't blow me away, but it's.
Now this one's gonna get worse. A worse score. This is the dialogue. This one.
1.
Yeah. The dialogue was not great. We had one guy that only spoke in like grunts. At the beginning, it was Ice. The main. I don't think did he even have a line of dialogue in the whole movie.
I don't know, man.
Or did he just grunt? I think he may have just grunted. Cinematography.
Oh God. Ugh. I'm going 1 because this movie was ugly as
It
hell.
was
I mean,
ugly and dirty. You know what? It was actually filmed in Portland.
well, yeah, that's why it's disgusting. Because
Most of the
Portland is a
time-
sky-hole for degenerates.
Yeah, most of the time, movies that are set in areas like Portland or not quite, like New York or LA size cities, it's usually shot like in Vermont or Vancouver, I mean. And this one was actually shot in Portland. It would have looked better if it was shot in Vancouver.
Yeah. Very X-Filesy.
Yeah, the editing has to get a low score on this too because of a lot of the cuts from like things exploding and people fighting, and it just wasn't
great.
Wasn't
I'll
amazing.
give it a 1, yeah.
We get a shot where our main character towards the end when he's fighting the goons in the boat, we get like a slow motion shot of him like jumping through the air to like kick somebody, and instead of panning with it and showing him kick the guy, it cuts away, and then we get a kick from a different angle, and it was bad. It should have just followed him jumping and kicking the guy.
Yeah,
it was bad. Also bad the effects. Well, the squibs were good for when people got shot.
Yeah, well, that guy got his life ended on a pile of tires. I imagine his acting career probably ended right there as well.
Yes, it was very symbolic of. But then again, we got like stuff like cutting to, instead of cutting a car exploding, we get a shot of it.
Yeah, they didn't actually blow up a car. I really think they just lit it on fire. I mean, that's what it looked like.
I think I'm gonna go 1.5 for effects.
Yeah, okay. I'm down. I'm not gonna go any higher than that.
Music. There's some weird musical choices in here. Not just the song that we get ad nauseum throughout the movie, but the just at the beginning when we have the montage of our guy beating up the rest of the Los Angeles SWAT team, and they say that the music sounded like a knight that just accepted to go on a quest for his king or something.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like this
right.
very this very
was
weird.
All those guys, yeah.
Yeah. God. Plus, the song that they used was not great. I'm gonna give
2.
it. Yeah, a 2 seems reasonable.
Yeah.
The directing, again, this was made by the guy who did Enter the Dragon, like a classic movie, and then he did this.
Yeah, well, okay. Look, here's the thing with that. I think you have to judge it based on his performance with the movie and how the movie came out, because ultimately the director is the captain of the ship.
Right.
Okay. And I think that to bring in another Riff Tracks movie, Cats, the director of that, Tom Hooper, he directed literally one of the best movies in decades, The King's Speech. He did John Adams before that. And then he made. We were all like, okay, this is okay,
Cats.
but you're kind of like, what's going on here? And then he just fell off a cliff. And then just like hit the very bottom was probably the worst movie ever made. So like, I don't think you can judge a director based on his it's so weird. You can't judge a director based on his past work, which you should be able to do.
Yeah.
But when you make Cats, sorry, man, King's Speech is no longer relevant. So yeah, that's my argument for
Okay, I'll agree with that a little bit because last year we got a movie called Babylon released, which was a huge flop.
Is that the one with Brad Pitt and
Margot Robbie? Yeah. It was a huge bomb in the box office. And the guy who directed that movie, I mean, he made a couple other, critically acclaimed films, La La Land, Whiplash.
Oh, wow.
And then he made Babylon. So I agree. I agree with that point that you were making there about how you can't judge them based on their past works. This is... I would give this no higher than a 2, but probably not a 2.
I'm not going to go any higher than that.
I'll go two. I'll go two. I'll give
That's
it.
my cop out. I'm just gonna let you do it.
Okay. I don't think this movie had very much personality in it.
No, well, I mean, okay. Movies like this, I think, their personality derives from like not only their martial arts, but just kind of like the weirdness of it. And I think probably the best example of this, obviously, is No Retreat, No Surrender. And I think maybe Street Fighter. But Street Fighter is kind of a different animal. It's really not that kind of a movie.
Yeah.
But like the personality with No Retreat, No Surrender, I think helps that movie tremendously.
Oh, absolutely.
But this doesn't have that.
No, it really doesn't.
I just thought of another example of there was a couple movies they did years ago. They did the sequel first. It was
Kill and Kill and Kill and Kill Again.
Yeah, Kill. What was the name of the first one?
I think it was Kill and Kill Again.
Kill and Kill
maybe
Again.
I'm thinking of something else.
Anyway, the first one is the one they did later.
Yeah,
in like 2019. That movie is and riff that is excellent. The sequel is trash.
Yeah, Kill or Be Killed was the first one. Kill and Kill Again was the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. So like that was I was surprised that because I didn't like Kill and Kill Again at all, but that first one was delightful.
Oh yeah, the first one
should have
was
done this first.
Yeah.
So
the first one was wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but like with movies like this, and like that is this kind of movie, or I think what this movie would like to be anyway.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. It just didn't have that extra X factor.
No.
To like make it super duper charming.
I'm gonna give this 1.5.
Okay. I'll go. Well, I think I'll not that I like the movie or anything, but I think I'll go a little bit higher than that. I didn't think it was as bad as some of the garbage we've watched recently. I'll go at 2.
A 2? All right. I'm good with that. I'm good with the 2. And then the riffs. Now, I'm thinking of changing this last thing here because, most of the time, obviously, we're going to give the riffs really high marks. So instead of making it like a point value, I kind of want to make it more of a question, a yes or no. Like, did the riffs like make it watchable enough /
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like save the movie type of thing. I think that would be a better way for us to grade this because a lot of times we love the riffs, but the movies like Cyclone. Yeah. The riffs were
the riff did not save it.
No, the riffs were very funny, but I'm not going to watch that movie again.
The riff did not save the movie.
Yeah, or Baby Ghost. The riffs did not save Baby Ghost.
Yeah, the riff did not save Baby Ghost, and I understand. And like for years, I might have been the loudest voice in the Riff Tracks community saying "Baby Ghost."
Yes.
And then I saw it, and I'll just be like, "What have I done?"
Yeah, it was definitely felt like that.
I'll just be like, I feel like I bear some responsibility for this.
But for this movie, I would say yes. It was perfectly
I would say
watchable
yes as well. I mean, if that's the direction we're going, then yes, it definitely did.
This is something I would be fine watching again. Like it's not. Yeah, I'm not going to run back to it, but I'm not going to put it on our riffs to never watch again list. Which we only have 2, 3. We only have 5 on there right now.
For me, it falls within the thing with like with Beaks. It's fine. I'm not going to rush to watch it again.
Yeah,
but I'll watch it if it
Yeah, like if I've got on like the Twitch channel or something in the background and it comes on.
I'll leave it on. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, this was a pretty good time.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it a lot more than some other ones recently.
I don't know if I would say because usually around this time of year we're like, I think we got our first Riff of the Year contender. I don't know if I'd go that far.
No,
but it's definitely watchable. But I think we're going to get our first Riff of the Year contender here pretty soon because they may or may not be working on Cobra.
Yeah, I would enjoy that.
They all but verified that in the 372 podcast.
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking back through like what came out this year. I don't really have a lot of standouts in that way.
No, there haven't been, and that's not a criticism. There haven't really been any like riffs that'll like blow your mind, kind of like Mikey was with us last year.
Yeah, not yet anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only April.
Not yet.
So
they're coming. I mean, I know it's coming with you because you are for sure going to Riff Tracks Live. That's going to be rad. That's going to like completely change your life.
Oh, absolutely. That's like there's no way that doesn't make at least top 3. Yeah.
I think Cobra's probably going to be in that.
Cobra
in that
will be
as well. Yeah.
Yes. If we actually get a riff of Cobra, that's going to be. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like they've hinted, but there's not been any actual confirmation.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get it. And if we do, that'll be a top 3 for sure, if nothing else. But yeah, Ironheart, buy it.
Yeah,
that's a buy it.
Yeah,
buy it right away and watch it. Or
it's
maybe not a right away, but you don't really have to wait for this one to like go on sale or anything to have it be worth your money. It's a very, very good riff, very solid. The movie is
it's worth the $11
watchable,
standard definition.
Yep, perfectly worth it. Yeah, I think that's it. We don't have anything definitive yet, guys, but we are more than likely going to be changing the time that we do this live to an evening, kind of like a late show type thing.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give you guys more information as we figure it out, but with me changing my job, I'm going to be working during the day most of the time.
For the past year, I mean, like, this goes on and off. If you guys want to hear some backroom, that sounds weird. Some behind the scenes production as the True Blue Riffcast goes. It alternates between like who we schedule the podcast around. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Jeremy. I think probably for the last year it's been me mostly that we've scheduled the podcast around.
Yeah.
And I think with your new job, I think it's probably going to have to be you.
Yeah. More than likely, just because, my schedule's. I'm going to be working during the day most of the time, like I said, and
I work at night. But
yeah.
And we got to figure out a day where we're both awake at the same time, and we've actually watched the same thing recently to talk about. So we'll figure it out. We won't be going completely silent.
No, never. We always do figure it out, though. So
yeah.
It's all good. Just giving you guys a heads up of a slight programming change coming soon-ish. But that's gonna do it for us today, I think. Unless Dave's got anything else to add.
I mean, like, I'm gonna go home and play the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. That's been my life for the last week.
Oh, nice.
It's amazing. Guys, get these games. Show them that like turn-based RPGs. Even though we're all old, tell them that we still will buy video games if you make them for us.
I still gotta get those. I wanted to, and then I remembered that the new Legend of Zelda game comes out next weekend, and I've been looking forward to that a lot.
You want to know the last Legend of Zelda game I actually finished? Like, I stopped. Like, I bought them all up until like Twilight Princess. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, the last Zelda game I actually finished was Ocarina of Time on the 64.
I have not finished Breath of the Wild. I got that the day that the system came out. And
oh wait, I do have Breath of the Wild on Wii U. What am I thinking? But
all I do is
not my thing.
I still just mess around in it. There's still so much stuff that I haven't like seen in the game. But I haven't actually finished it. I'm probably going to do that right before the next one comes out, just so because I probably won't necessarily want to go back to it with all the new mechanics that they're introducing in the new game, and I'm very excited about it. But we'll see everybody later. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at TBRiffcast. You can find me at PB and Awesome.
You can check me out on Twitter at DC Author. Wait, D. Chadwick author. Oh. I took all the time to learn my new Twitter handle, and I'm still messing it up.
And then you forgot it again.
Yeah. Get all my books on Amazon and Audible. And yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.